If Allah is the same God that revealed the Torah to Moses, as the Quran asserts, then why is it that the story of the creation in the Quran is very different from and incompatible with that of the original in the Bible? Will you please explain these strange contradictions?
As you well know, and as our audience is also becoming aware of, that the Quranic versions of the biblical events are totally out of synchronous in time and space with their originals in the Bible. Muhammad had actually no idea where and when these events occurred, and invariably got them all mixed and jumbled up, as he did with the biblical characters also. His knowledge and understanding of the biblical creation story suffered just as badly as all the others, as shown repeatedly in his Quran. Let me elaborate. In the Bible, God clearly indicates that the universe and all living things were created in 6 days, as in Genesis 1:1-31. The Bible describes the creation step by step, day by day, in beautiful detail. Nothing like this is explained in the Quran. As usual, the Quran has no details, no rhyme, no rhythm, and no beauty. The Quran, which is allegedly the word of the all-knowing Allah, is remarkably uncertain about the number of days of the creation. Al-Sajdah 32.4. It is Allah who has created the heavens and the earth and all between them in 6 days and is firmly established on the throne. Al-Fusilat 41.9. Say, is it that ye deny him who created the earth in 2 days? He set on the earth mountains standing firm high above it, and bestowed blessings on the earth and measured therein all things to give them nourishment in due proportion in 4 days, in accordance with those who seek sustenance. So he completed them as 7 firmaments in 2 days, and he assigned to each heaven its duty and command. If we add all the days of creation above, we come to 8 days. Moreover, the Bible mentions only 1 firmament and not 7. How is it possible to imply that the angel Gabriel, the messenger of Allah, lied and deceived Muhammad regarding these primal subjects? In fact, it is easier and infinitely more logical to come to the conclusion that it was Muhammad who actually revealed all these verses of the Quran, but cleverly projected them into the mouth of the unsuspecting Allah to make them sanctified, than to accept that both Allah and Gabriel were misinforming and misleading Muhammad. Al-Qaf 50.38. We created the heavens and the earth and all between them in 6 days, nor did any sense of weariness touch us. It was beyond Muhammad's intellect and comprehension to understand the Hebrew concept of a day of rest, the Sabbath. He misunderstood it to mean that God rested out of weariness or tiredness. He did not comprehend that the God of Israel finished all his creation in 6 days and had nothing further to create on the 7th. That is, he ceased the process of creating. It was the God of Israel and not Allah who mandated upon his followers, the Israelites, that on the 7th day, the Sabbath, they must all stop their usual daily labor and sweat to earn their living during the first 6 days of the week. Instead, God made the Sabbath a holy day, a day of rest, a day of cessation of all labor, so that humanity could enjoy each other's company, especially their families and friends, and admire the wonders of his creation. Moreover, this day of rest was not and is not exclusive to the Israelites only, but was and is also a day of rest, that is, no labor being done for their servants, the strangers amongst them, or their animals, and all their lands, no tilling. This very simple, incredibly merciful, compassionate, and historically, culturally, and theologically unique and revolutionary concept was truly beyond Muhammad's intellect and moral grasp and comprehension. Because of Muhammad's utter failure to understand this sublime concept, there is no provision for a day of rest for his Muhammadan Muslim followers. Friday, the Jum'ah, is not a day of rest for the followers of Muhammad, but a day when they are instructed to attend noon prayers. According to some other Muhammadan traditions, Allah created the earth on Saturday, the hills on Sunday, the trees on Monday, and unpleasant things on Tuesday, the light on Wednesday, the beasts on Thursday, and Adam, who was the last of creation, was created after the time of afternoon prayers on Friday. Our listeners should be made aware that these alleged traditions were invented like thousands of others over a period of almost 300 years after the death of Muhammad and have absolutely nothing to do with facts or reality, especially since neither Muhammad nor his pagan Arab tribe, the Quraysh, had any knowledge of previous revelations such as the Bible. Moreover, if these traditions were true, then on which day were the sun, moon, stars, and the remainder of the cosmos created? They are missing in the above list. Also, how could Adam have been created on Friday, after the time of afternoon prayers, when in reality there could have been no people to pray and no mosque to pray in? After all, Adam and Eve only started copulating after the seventh day of creation and after their expulsion from the Garden of Eden. Throughout their history and unto today, the first day of the Muhammadan Muslim week is called Ahad, which is from the Hebrew root Ehad, meaning first or one. So how could have Allah started his creation on Saturday, the Sabbath, which was the last day and not the first, the day that he ordained as a day of cessation of creation, even according to the Quran itself? As usual with Muhammad and Islam, their own words from their own mouth, whether from the Quran, Hadith, or their alleged traditions, expose their mendacity, irreverence, stupidity, ignorance, irrelevance, and total lack of authenticity. Once more, our listeners, so-called believers and or unbelievers, have a lot to digest, think about, and evaluate regarding the veracity or lack thereof, the alleged divine origin of the Quran.